anyway, that leads us to the next topic. Anyway, unfortunately, we're supposed to be playing videos. Okay, let's see. Barrister, I watched a video I was supposed to play since we have issue with the audio. We'll be talking about Oweleke, the owner of Sahara Reporter. There are two videos actually. One I watched, he was in the court, and he made a lot. Okay, you know what? Let me play. I just want you to just listen. If you cannot watch it, just listen to him. Okay, let me play the one first before that of the court. I'll play both together before you make comment.
Or S. There is pointless chasing a rat when your house is on fire. Nigeria needs a revolution, or S. Nigerians must understand that unless something drastic happens, we cannot have elections that are won on the basis of ideas. As things stand in Nigeria today, our successive governments have destroyed the basis for any progressive politics. You cannot have a country where young people who are brilliant, who have ideas, are told to run for councillors, while people with antiquated ideas are recommended to be presidential candidates. And even they become president. That's why the country is the way it is today. Unless a revolution happens in this country, same way they had in Sudan, probably in Algeria, it's going to be difficult to have free and fair elections. I am saying it so that we're not under any illusion that somehow, if we continue to talk, it is not a battle of wits, that the democratic space will open for us to have a country where good people, great ideas can lead the country. As we chanted during our recent protest march in Maryland area of Lagos, in Nigeria, where just 5 people will be richer than 200 million people, Oweleke. In Nigeria, where your NEPA bill is greater than your house rent, Oweleke. So the skeptics who say Nigerians are too apathetic and divided to rise up for a revolution or up to a revolution, I say this: hunger doesn't know ethnicity, insecurity doesn't know religion, and when Nigeria becomes a better place, it won't matter where you come from. The time for revolution is now, and it will not be televised.
I came here where he said.
Did you hear that clearly, Barrister?
Yes, I heard it clearly.
Okay, hold on. Let me play you. I will respond to both video. Let me play this video. This one was, I think he was in court. He was actually addressing the judge.
And DSS kept him for 5 months, after which he was restricted to Osun State. We have not heard or seen him ever since the COVID era. We didn't even know whether he contracted COVID and he's sick. So the federal government knew this, and that they are pursuing a secondary school student for treason. Now we told them that I'm willing to face the trial that has been around for 5 years now. They have not been able to do the trial. They presented only one witness in court, and then brought this case before another judge, before it travels to you. You are the 3rd judge on this matter. I am so heartbroken that they are wasting your time. Because even the president that I was accused of trying to overturn on this matter, I am so heartbroken that they are wasting your time. Because even the president that I was accused of trying to overthrow has left power and retired to his village in Daura. I have no understanding of why federal government resources are being wasted instead of educating a high school student, secondary school dropout, pursuing him to come and try him for a treason trial that they have no preparation, they have not been able to conduct. I just want to urge your lordship to do what's needed. I need to go back to my family. I ran for office in this country and never run away. I will never, ever run away. I just want you to do justice by dismissing this case if they are wasting your time. But if they don't want to dismiss it, they should try me alone. I'm available. Instead of looking for an orphan secondary school student whose whereabouts is unknown. Even as we see secondary school students.
Okay, I don't know. Did you hear that clearly, Barrister?
I heard some aspects of it clearly, only some were a bit.
Okay, let me explain. It was actually that was a court session. Actually, he was addressing the judge. Now, actually, what he did was actually supposed to be done by his lawyer. So, but he chose to be the lawyer for himself, defending himself. So he was really addressing the court and telling the court that the judge that, look, you are just wasting. Why are you allowing government to waste your time? A sort of. So there was supposed to be, I don't know, it's about a witness that was supposed to be there, and because of it, sort of the case was not going to hold because of the same witness. They wanted to adjourn, and I think he went on. He made this statement to the judge. A sort of to me that was correct. Now let's comment on both videos. Now, one, he was literally calling for revolution, and the other one, he was addressing in a very brave manner. He was addressing the judge. Now, you and I, both of us, you and I are never fans of. We are, in fact, not just not fans of Moyele, but we are. I don't know of how ardent you are, but me, I am an ardent critic of Omoyele, because I just felt I don't know, until now I think I used to see him as a hypocrite, and it became even worse during the 2023 presidential election when he did all he could to actually smear Peter Obi to make sure Peter Obi never won, even when he knew quite all right that he does not stand a chance of winning that election. What I expected him to do was to just actually form an alliance with Peter Obi, with his activism kind of nature that would have helped Peter Obi to an extent, a sort of. But he went on antagonizing, senselessly antagonizing Peter Obi throughout the 2023 season, election season, a sort of. So before then, we know what the role he played during the Jonathan administration, how he was instrumental to Buhari's or whatever. Then I was on his side because I was against Jonathan as well. I wanted, of course, wrongly, I wanted, in my sincerity, I wanted Buhari to be the president, the head of the president then, yes, a sort of, but unfortunately, I regretted that. So, like I said, we are not a fan of Umoyele. The truth is that I don't like him. I used to see hypocrisy behind whatever he does. But recently, especially this week, I've come to realize, I've come to have a rethink of what I feel, what I think about him. Because it's only someone who is sincere can be able to be this courageous, to face the government, someone that the government is always buffeting, someone that the government is always chastising, always persecuting in one form or the other. He's been incarcerated. He's been manhandled by security agents several times. And above all, government is making life uncomfortable. Only someone that has a very sincere motive and sincere vision and mission will be this dogged, will be this resilient. Even as they keep persecuting you, you keep doing even more. I've come to have a rethink of who this guy is, honestly, because if you are, so he's bold enough to actually call for a revolution. This is what I've been singing on for forever, a sort of. So for him to be bold enough, remember he was arrested this week, earlier in the week, when he arrived at the airport. I think he arrived from the US or from, I don't know, but at least at the airport there, he was arrested and his passport seized. So even with all these things that the government is doing, making life uncomfortable with him, uncomfortable to him, he's still bent on actually being a thorn in the flesh of the government of the day. This man is putting his life on the line. I don't know. I don't know if this changes your mind, your perception of Omoyele. I don't know if that makes you see him as being sincere in what he's doing, because this guy is really honestly, this week, watching this video, these two videos especially, and with the report that all the reports in the past of how the security agents have manhandled him physically, and how he has been incarcerated, and still up to now, he's been still under threat. And when government is on you, we all know that it is not just, you are not just under threat. Your life itself is at stake here, because anyone they can take you out at any time in a very discreet manner. So he is actually putting his life on the line. So I don't know, what is your thoughts on this? All this what you just heard now.
Well, me and you have talked about Showore for some time. Number one, I have said repeatedly that he has not given me any reason to trust him as a person. And I have no reason to trust him. But that is not to say that I do not agree with some statements that he makes or some fights that he does. It's a different thing to trust somebody. It's a different thing to agree that the person has said the correct thing or is doing the correct thing. Now, we have talked on this platform that the sham democracy we are purporting to practice in Nigeria will not carry us anywhere. It's rather carrying us to the brink of disaster. And we have by and large agreed that the only thing that can change the course of Nigeria's history now is a revolution. To that extent, I agree with him. I agree with the statement that Showore has made and continue to make. So at that level, we are at par, we are the same. Now, when you have set yourself on a course of action, people have people in history that are their role models. You have the Mandelas, you have the Mugabes, Joshua Nkomo in Zimbabwe, you have NATO in Angola, you have this man in Namibia. So people have role models. They see how these people fought, put themselves on the line, and eventually emerge as leaders of their country. It's a decision that people make. If they come to a conclusion, say, I will put myself, I will fight for what I believe in. That is correct. We agree with the fight that he's carrying on. But that is not to say that we trust his integrity. You can still agree with somebody without saying that the person has integrity. That one still has a way to go before we can reach that level, because there are antecedents. He is coming from somewhere. He has run a newspaper or a news this thing, and there are issues that have happened in the past that are not clear, that are not transparent, that tell on his integrity. So it's not just a speech that will change him overnight in the mind of people. There are much more going forward before he will reach that level.
Yeah, but I understand it's not just, but trust me, I am not easily swayed. I'm not easily convinced by people's because it takes that much a tall action for one to sway me from what I believe in. Now, before I jump into this conclusion, I thought of what he is doing. Now, the truth is, what don't you think he may have done what he had done? What actually made us, you and I, to actually distrust him and saw him as someone who is corrupt and who have done some things that that doesn't made him look bad to the public. Don't you think he may have? It may be because recently we've not had anything bad about Showore. Don't you think he may be on a kind of repentance course that makes him act? Because the truth, why I'm saying this, because you cannot be corrupt. You cannot have a corrupt mind or mindset for you to stick your neck, stick your life. For what? Showore is rich, he's comfortable. There's no doubt about that. You and I agree with that. It's a millionaire, not even in naira, in dollars. So he is rich. So what has he got to lose if he decides to just keep quiet and hobnob with the government of the day? And trust me, and it is possible the government of the day may have actually, he is a publisher, he's a reporter. So because government of the day usually, trust me, they approach all media organizations to induce them. So what gives you gives us the assurance that the government of Tinubu has not even approached him to work with them. So yet he's still digging down against them. So don't you think that it's only a sincere person, someone who is really sincere, have sincerity of purpose? Because at this point, let me be frank with you, Showore, while Obi has a very, very good record as a governor, perfect record, I consider that is in our climb. As far as I'm concerned, Obi has a very perfect record. In fact, record that has been that can actually be measured up, if not better than so many Western countries. So many Western governors of their states couldn't. Most of them, even in civilized and developed climes, you can't find all these governors. They're in politics. They want to benefit one thing or the other in politics. There is no governor who leaves the governorship. And I've heard that leaves the governorship, the governor's residence, governorship role, without benefiting one thing or the other. Obi did not even a land to his name, not even a piece of land to his name. He is the one who signs CFOs, who signs out land as the governor. Yet he never benefited. So he never benefited from that. So that is my point. There is no doubt about it. But this part, honestly, this part of Showore, this sacrificial part of him, makes me look at him even better than Obi. Not administratively, but the spirit, the fighting spirit, because that is what is lacking with Peter Obi. That is one of the reasons why I do, not even one of the reasons, that is the major reason, the only reason why I have issues with Peter Obi. So, and this Showore has it. But Peter Obi, if Peter Obi had this fighting spirit that sacrificial spirit that Showore had, we wouldn't be having this today. I assure you, Tinubu wouldn't have been our president. So that is my point. My point is only a sincere man or woman will always stick his or her neck or her life for the cause he or she believes in. Can a hypocrite, because hypocrites, I consider hypocrites as weaklings. I consider hypocrites as corrupt. Do you see hypocrites are selfish? So no selfishness, because what he's doing is selfless. He's not benefiting anything from it. Rather, it is his life that is at stake. So that is my point. So the problem is not just believing what he said, but my own issue now is I am going beyond believing what he said into having a kind of element, at least starting from there, an element of trust now. Believing that probably this man, okay, I have made a mistake in the past, I want to do the right thing. That is my own assumption. Because what he's doing right now is not, the government is making life unbearable for him, yet he's still fighting.
We know that very well, but let me put it in one sentence.
Yes.
If I'm ready to go along with him in the revolution that will set Nigeria free. But if you ask me that he should lead that revolution, I would think twice. That is the sentence I will put. I'm ready to go along him with the revolution, but if you ask me that should he be the leader of that revolution, I would think twice.
Yes, but you and I are on the same page with that. Let me tell you one thing. Just like this issue of Biafra, when this Nnamdi Kanu came up and started this Biafra thing, I say, look, yes, honestly, someone like me, I don't mind, because based on the way they have been treating the Igbos, the Southeast, I don't mind Southeast going on having their own country. But my problem is the messenger. The message is good. I'm open to that message, but the messenger is not the right messenger. On Omoyele, we both of us are on the same page. Look, we have people who are activists, born activists, but they may not be the good leaders. Honestly, these are gifts, just like we have during when Gani Fayomi was alive, who really fought all the military regimes to a stupor or whatever. So the thing is that we all know Gani Fayomi was a social activist. He was a real critic of the whatever. But when it comes to leadership, Gani Fayomi cannot. I remember when people were calling him to come vie for presidency, to contest for president. I was telling people, look, this man, this is his calling. His calling is just to be a critic of the government, to make government, to be a thorn in the flesh of the government. That is his role. That is his office. The moment he leaves there, he will not perform. But Gani Fayomi cannot perform well. He will make the worst blunder as a president. So the same thing applies to Omoyele. I still do not see Omoyele as someone who can actually preside over Nigeria. Right? I just see him playing the role, a perfect role that he is gifted in, and which is the role of activism. So even if we are to have a revolution today, of course, I do not expect someone like, look, I don't know, you are the one, you have read so much about so many other revolutions and stuff. I don't know if there's no revolution that I have had of the leader being who being the advocate of this revolution before the revolution took place. Is there anyone like that? Most revolutions you have.
There are. If you look at Chinese Revolution, Mao Zedong, if you go to the Russian Revolution,
yes,
you see the same thing. The issue is there must be an intellectual head of a revolution that encompasses the ideas of the society that they want to project. And for that person to attain that standard or that status, all the issues associated with his honesty, his integrity, and other things must come into play.
Yeah,
it's one thing to be a revolutionary. I agree entirely that Sowore is an activist. He is part of us that want Nigeria to be better. He is part of us that want a revolution to set Nigeria free. My only issue is, going forward, if he is to emerge as leader, it will take more than what is on ground now for me to accept him as a leader.
Yeah.
Going forward. That's just what I'm saying. I'm not discounting that he's an activist. I'm not discounting that he's putting he's sincere in looking for a better Nigeria. Because if he's not sincere, at this point he has reached, he can get whatever he wants.
Yes.
So to that extent, I agree that yes, he wants a better Nigeria, just like you and me want a better Nigeria. So I call him, you can say comrade, you can say fellow activist, you can say fellow well-wishers of Nigeria. We are together in that battle, but everybody should know where they belong.
Yeah,
the fact that going along together does not mean somebody has some other attribute that we are not sure of.
Yeah.
And in view of the background and antecedents, there are things that have happened in the past that are not are less than transparent with him. There were allegations that he used this thing to blackmail people at the beginning. So some of those things have stuck with him for some time. That's why I said it will take more going forward for him to come to that position where people can rally around him as the leader that will carry Nigeria forward.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think that's just it anyway. So